And shalom, everyone. We're doing a repeater prayer. So I'm going to be asking each and every person to repeat after me. What's going to be said and what's going to be happening. And we do have, I do know we have quite a few people that is not Israel. And I'm going to show you this to where before we do the prayer, you can understand exactly why you need to do this prayer a certain way. And I'm going to pull this Bible up before we get started so you can see where we're coming from. And this is for people who are not Israel. Do not play the game as if you are. So we're going to need it done this way, and I'm going to show you why. If you look in Genesis chapter 1, verse 22, Genesis chapter 12, verse 2 and 3, the one that we mainly want, it says, I will bless them that bless thee, and I will curse them that curse thee. And in thee shall all the families be blessed. And the part I want you to pay attention to is over here. In Genesis 24, verse 11 and 12, it says, and he made his camels kneel down and without the city, and by the well of water, the time of even the time that the women go out to draw water. And all this is spiritual. It has a spiritual side to it, but I'm not going to go through it right now. And then it tells you in verse 12, and he said, O Lord, God of my master Abraham. He's not claiming him because he's been righteous, but he's actually acknowledging who he is. So it's important you do the same. And he says, I pray thee, send me good speed this day and show kindness unto my master Abraham. Now, the reason I'm showing you that is because the same thing is what people will do in their sit there, and even though you're not Israel, you will pray as if you are. And we don't want to disrespect the Most High in any way, shape, or form, because he only married to one people, and it's the same as a marriage with anybody. So I'm asking that each and every one that is not Israel, that you would pray and say just to the God of and Father of Israel. That's all you have to say, and then right from there, then you repeat everything that I'm going to be saying as with the people that is of Israel here. Everything will go smoother because the way this is prayed is what we're asking for. So just make sure you do it that way. There's no disrespect on any side. If you do, you have a problem, then that's something that's personal. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to do this repeated prayer, and we're going to join this together. Father, a wise son hear a father's instructions. A wise servant hears his master. And I have learned, dear Father, this past week, many things that you have showed me in your word, and you have allowed me, dear Father, to maintain and to understand what you have said. Only a scorner hears not your words, even your rebukes. But a good man shall eat the good fruit of his mouth. The soul of transgressors shall always eat violence. For I have learned, dear Father, this past week, I have learned to hear your word. A man that keepeth your words keepeth life. Only a man open his mouth wide, his lips is on the path of destruction. The soul of the sluggard desires, but he never has anything, dear Father. I have learned. I have learned this week, dear Father, what you are showing me The soul that is diligent shall be made fat. A righteous hate lying, but the wicked is loathsome and shall come with shame. I've learned, Father. I learned this week. Righteousness keepeth your commandments, because that is the upright way to go. But the wicked shall always be overthrown as sinners. There is that maketh him rich, and he maketh his own path, and will have nothing. There is maketh himself poor, have great riches. I've learned, Father. The ransom of the man's life are his riches, but the poor shall not hear rebuke. The light of the righteous rejoice, but the light of a wicked will always put out. I learned, dear Father. I have learned. Only by pride cometh contention, but with well advised, as you have done this week, dear Father, is wisdom. Wealth has gotten vanity, shall always diminish. But he guardeth his labor, and the words that you have, dear Father, shall always be increased. I thank you. Hope is deferred and maketh anyone's heart sick, but he that desireth come to the tree of life, to learn what thus saith the Lord. Dear Father, I thank you. I thank you for this past week. Who despised the word, him shall you destroy. But he feareth and desireth your commandments shall always be well rewarded. I've learned, Father. I learned this week what you have said. The law of the wise is a fountain of life, but he departeth is a snares of death. My good understanding that I always seek from you, dear Father, you give favor. But the way of the transgressors is hard. Every prudent man should dealeth with knowledge, but a fool layeth up his folly. I learned, Father. I have learned that the wicked messenger will always fall into mischief by deceiving your inheritance. But a faithful ambassador, dear Father, is health. For I always tried to be the righteous ambassador and teach your word according to what you have written. Poverty and shame shall be to him that refuses the instructions, but he that regardeth it proof, him shall be honored. The desired is accomplished, dear Father, that it is sweet to the soul, but these abominations is out there, dear Father, that fools shall depart from evil. We shall, dear Father, shall walk with the wise men and shall be wise, and not be a companion of fools that shall be destroyed. Evil will always pursue those sinners, and blessings shall always pursue the righteous. In anyone, righteous or sinners, will always have payment. A good man gonna leave that same inheritance of this knowledge that we have, that is the richness of it. Dear Father, it's an inheritance to our children and our children's children. That way would teach each and every one of them what thus said the Lord. But the wealth of a sinner is even laid up for the just. These things, dear Father, I have learned. Much food is the one that tilleth of the poor, but they that is destroyed, dear Father, is in the one for judgment. Father, we know that we seek our own children and we seek to teach them And he that spareth his rod hateth his son. But he that chasteneth him shows that he have betimes. I have learned these things, dear Father, through this week. The righteous shall eat and shall be satisfied, but the belly of the wicked shall always be in want. These things, dear Father, I have learned this week, and asking that you continue to bless me with your wisdom, that I can continue in your way, that I might be the pure gold, and some of us who are silver be the ones that you're looking for in these last days. I pray these things, dear Father, in the name of JEHOVAH, in your word. These things I pray. Amen.